Welcome in everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Rogue class and the brand new hero Lucius. I've been playing Rogue for about 2 weeks now and I've done the Rift, I've done DoD, I've done everything that you would normally do, but I've done it as the Rogue class, and I'm just going to let you know what I think about that and let you know my thoughts on it and whether or not I think it's viable. So Lucius, he's a funny one, but he is the weekend hero. If you want him to clear out the entire expert rift every week, you're gonna need a weekend hero. This is the guy. His base power is comparable to Titania's rage power. But in order to explain further about these heroes, I'm gonna need to tell you about how the powers work. Now, base powers, their strength relies on how long they take to charge. So one that charges in 3 moves will be weaker than one that charges in 5 moves. So the longer it takes to charge, the stronger it's going to be at a base number before you add in your charms and stuff like that. So all of the rogues, they've got high numbers from the likes of Gun, Eileen, Kira, all of them. They all take 7-8 moves to charge without a speed gauntlet, but the numbers are all pretty high. And then if you look at ones that take 3 moves to charge, like say Azar, Millicent, all the ones like that, other things are coming into play, and because they charge up in 3 moves with a speed gauntlet, 5 moves without, they're going to be a little bit weaker than the other ones. And then rage powers as well. There's 2 types of rage powers. There's ones that distribute between all the enemies, so it'll be a higher base number, but it'll be shared damage across all of the enemies. And then there's ones that deal the same damage across all enemies, which will be a lower base number, but it's more reliable damage for all of the enemies. And Lucius rage distributes. Now, distribute heroes in a PvE situation where there's 5-6 enemies, they're not very good because the damage is shared. So distributor heroes are better for guild bosses, PvP, stuff like that, where there's a lot less enemies, where there's ideally 1 enemy if you wipe out the minions in PvP and that sort of thing. So they've made a PvE based hero with the weaken, but they made it distribute, which boggles my brain. Honestly, I don't know what they were thinking, but all of this basically adds up to a distributor hero that you need to use in a PvE situation with a heal that takes 3 business days to charge up, and Midoki missed the mark by a country mile with this hero, if I'm being honest. Now, Rogue is fun to play. If you play it in the Rift and you equip Kira, she will trivialize Warbeast's Battlebear. She will trivialize them. But if the threat is higher than your Rift power, which if you're a newer player it's gonna be, or even if you're maxed out on Rift power like I am, you're still gonna have to be careful to keep the threat lower than your Rift power. So you're not going to be able to clear out all the maps, you're not going to be able to take all the +3s, and you're not going to be able to do max score runs. But if you keep the threat lower, it's perfectly fine. As soon as the threat goes higher than your Rift power, you're in trouble. And what ends up happening is there'll be a fight with, say, 2 goblin healers in the back, and because Lucius is distributing all the damage, you're not dealing enough damage to clear out the healers in the back, and you're going to end up locked into this battle for about half an hour, and you're just not going to get anywhere, and it's incredibly frustrating. Expert Rift bosses like Time Lost, you've got no counter to that. He can just freeze lock you every single turn. You can weaken everything with Lucius, but then either if you're using a protect weapon or if you're using protect from Lucius base power, it's only 1 turn, so you'll get frozen and then everything is just going to wipe you out. So you're going to need to think about expose resist, freeze resist, and ideally you don't want to be thinking about having freeze resistant stuff. You want to clear it out. A couple of guaranteed ways to beat Time Lost are to spam MacLeod Rage as a hunter, because that's going to delay the freeze, or to just whack him with Hermes as a warrior. Rogue don't have any options like that, so you end up locked into the fight to get through the first round for half an hour, and then as soon as you get through, you just get frozen and you just get wiped out. There's not a lot that you can do about it. So again, you're going to have to be very careful to keep the threat underneath your rift power. But all in all, Rogue is great for guild bosses. Kira is currently the strongest hero versus beast guild bosses, if you have her at max stars, that is, anyway, because the numbers are identical to Petra, who is a mage, but her max stars has plus 30% crit chance, and mage don't have that, so you've got potential for more damage there. So she is currently the best hero for beast guild bosses, and in PvP it's not too bad either. So it's an okay class for other areas of the game, but the rift, you are gonna have to be very careful. Definitely don't recommend this class for newer players or for people that don't have the rift power maxed out and they're not comfortable with taking lesser drops, lesser XP, and treading very lightly across the rift. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been James B09. Good luck out there.